guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. The setup looks a little different today because we're gonna have a fun new segment of my channel called Flight Attendant Tales. Now, every time I tell someone I'm a flight attendant, the first obvious question I get, I feel like it's pretty obvious, but the first question I get is, oh my God, well, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened on a flight? Because you see so many things like on the news and on Facebook and on Instagram of either it's the airline's cleaned up version of the story or it's the passengers like videotaping like the madness of what has happened on a flight. So I wanted to give y'all like my point of view on like situations that have happened to me and kind of just tell y'all the real deal, especially for all you future flight attendants out there, people who are thinking about it and really just want to know like some of the things that you have to deal with ahead of time, because it really does happen, and how we deal with it as flight attendants in the air. So I thought this would be fun. I got my hookah set up. This is Beyond the Clouds Hookah, shout out. This is my hookah company. We sell hookahs, do private events, lounges, parties, all that good stuff. So check our website out, a little mini sponsorship there. But definitely check us out. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I hope you'll enjoy this new segment of my channel called Flight Attendant Tales. Alright y'all, so let me set the scene for you. This flight, we were headed to New Orleans, and normally flights headed to New Orleans is fun, like the crowd's fun. You can just tell the vibe of the flight, whether people are coming off vacation, people are going on vacation. Usually when people are going to New Orleans, they're going to turn up. So it's always fun, people are drinking, people are happy, the vibe is good. So we were leaving Orlando, headed to New Orleans, and when we got on the flight, it was raining in Orlando. Mind you, weather happens. I don't know if passengers don't realize that or they don't prepare for that or whatever the case may be. But no matter what airline you fly, let us just paint it out for you. Everybody has delays when there's weather. There is nothing the airline can do about it. It's not the airline's fault. It doesn't matter. The same way you're upset about it, I promise you, they're upset about it. Air traffic control is upset about it. Flight attendants are upset about it. Everybody's upset about it. So it's not just you as a passenger. So that's number one. I feel like the first thing that people need to realize when they're flying. So headed to New Orleans. One thing, before I even book a flight, I always check the weather like a couple days before I go, because you know things could happen. So fast forward, we're on the flight headed to New Orleans. The captain calls our lead flight attendant. I think I was flying, it's called B, so I was flying in the back. And they tell us, hey, you know, weather in New Orleans is a little crazy right now. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna wait till we get closer, but what he's just letting us know, weather's kind of crazy. So that's an announcement we don't tell passengers. That's something we kind of just let each other know, you know, hey, weather's getting a little crazy. So we're getting close to New Orleans. I'm gonna say we're about 40 minutes out. And the captain tells us, hey y'all, it's a possibility we're not landing in New Orleans because the airport's closed.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So, you can imagine, when hearing that, in my mind, this is my first time I've had this happen on a flight to where we're like, okay, the airport's closed and we're in the air. So what you mean we're not landing in New Orleans? Like, where are we gonna go? And you hear about it in training, like they tell you, oh, okay, there's an airport like 20 minutes, you know, you can get to any airport within 20 minutes of each other flying. But in my mind, in that moment, I'm like, okay, well, where we're gonna go. So the captain, he comes over, because at this point we're getting close to New Orleans and he needs to let the passengers know. So he's like, hey, you know, it's a possibility. And he said, highlight possibility that we might not land in New Orleans and we might have to divert to Dallas. Now, if you look at a map, of course, in everybody's mind, everybody's like, well, why would we pass New Orleans to go to Dallas, or is there nowhere closer that we can land? Well, for our airline, it made more sense to land in Dallas. We needed fuel at that point. We're going to need fuel. And it just made more sense to land in Dallas. So again, a possibility. First thing you hear, ding, 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 ding. Bells going off, y'all, like crazy. People are like freaking out. Like, what do you mean we're landing in Dallas? Like, and at that moment, I just want y'all also to know, rule number 2 is we don't know any more than you know before we land. So I think a lot of times that passengers think like we have this like secret way of knowing, or flight attendants are able to get in contact with the ground and like the people and like tell them, hey, what's gonna happen. We don't know what's gonna happen until we land on the ground. We're just as clueless as you are. So as people are ringing their call bells, of course, you know, people are telling us emergencies, like, oh my God, like I gotta get to where I'm going. And what we are trained to do is say, hey, we actually at this point don't know if we're actually landing in Dallas. Right now, it's just a possibility. He's just letting you know, just in case we seem like we're circling around, and we told y'all 45 minutes, is you have people that set timers, you have people that do different things, you know, and they're keeping track of the flight. So it's like, we're just letting you know that if it looks like we're just circling around a certain area, we probably are. So we circled around a little while, and then the captain, he calls us and he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to go to Dallas because they're not opening the airport up. Now, of course, when we have to break this news to everyone, it's not fun. So the lead comes on and she tells everyone, hey guys, no, I think the captain actually came on. He told everyone, but then the lead came back on and she, you know, reiterated that, hey, we are diverting to Dallas. So the flight's gonna be a little bit longer and that's where we're going. Now again, y'all, we don't know what's gonna happen when we land. So you can ask us all day long, but we don't know what's going on. So, of course, ding, 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 ding. Everybody's ringing their call bells. This one lady, I go up to her, she's super anxious, you know, just like, I can hear her from the back before I even get up to her, I can hear her in the back, like just going off. Like, oh my God, this only happens with this airline, this, that, and the third. So I go up to her and I say, yes, ma'am, like, how can I help you? And she's like, well, I have a funeral that I have to get to in 2 hours. At that point, I don't know what to say to you. I'm sorry. Like, and that's not me being like an asshole about the situation, but I don't know what to say to you other than we're landing in Dallas, ma'am. So whatever happens when we land, that's where we're going. I'm sorry that you have a funeral to go to. And that's not, like I said, it's not me making a mockery of the fact that you have a funeral to go to. However, when you make travel plans, please prepare that things could happen. So don't plan your trip out to where everything's like in perfect timing, because things can happen. So I was like, well, we're landing in Dallas. And she's like, well, I can't, that's not going to work for me. I need you to speak to the captain and figure things out. So at this point, I don't know what you want me to say to the captain, because we're landing in Dallas. So yeah, baby girl, I'm sorry. So I was just like, ma'am, you know, I can, you know, maybe have them have a conversation, but we are landing in Dallas. That is the destination we're going to. So she's like, well, when we get there, like, are they paying for hotels? And I'm like, that's more information that we do not know until we land. Like, it could be a situation to where we land, which is what happened on this trip to get to the point. We ended up landing in Dallas. We got gas, and then the airport ended up opening up. So again, like, everybody's freaking out, and that's why we don't tell a lot of the times what is going on, because it's like things could happen to where it turns around right then and there, and it's like, oh yeah, we're having to land in Dallas, so we're just gonna have to get some gas, and then we're headed back to New Orleans. Again, it's not the airline's fault, it's weather. We can't land there. They don't have rampers out there. They don't have anyone out there to guide the plane in. So the reason that when they say that the ramp is closed, or they say, you know, we can't go to this airport for this reason, The reason is that the airport being closed, meaning that they don't have ground crew out there to do anything. So with that being said, we landed in Dallas, got some gas, and again, I told her, I was like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, we are going back to New Orleans. It's just, we gotta get some gas and gas up. So she's pissed off, like, doesn't want to hear anything I have to say. Again, I have one of my other flight attendants come talk to her and say, hey, everything's gonna be okay. I understand that you are going through what you're going through, and I understand you're having a tough time, and I understand you're going for a sad occasion, and we are trained to be sensitive to those situations, but at the same time, be understanding to the fact that us as flight attendants, there's only so much we can do. We don't have control of the plane. We're not flying the plane. The pilot is only doing what air traffic control tells him to do. So again, he's having to do what he has to do to make sure that everybody gets there safely. Nobody's gonna land anywhere where they're not gonna get there safely. So I say all that to say, be nice to your flight attendants, because a lot of the times we don't know what's going on. We don't have a clue of like a better answer to give you, but we're gonna do our best to make sure that you know as much information as you need to know. So yeah, for us few future flight attendants out there, I'll go ahead and wrap the story up because I feel like I'm rambling, but for future flight attendants out there, just know diversions happen. And that's my first and actually only diversion I've ever had in the short time I've been flying, but diversions happen, and it's no reason necessarily to freak out. Sometimes it's just you're going up to go somewhere else to go back to where you were going originally. And yeah, it's gonna be okay. That's what I'm telling you. Ultimately, it's going to be okay. So stay calm in a situation. Listen to your flight attendants. Listen to your captains. Listen to what they're saying, and try to be understanding to what's going on before you get in uproar, because we're doing the best we can. Everybody's doing the best they can. And again, the same way that you're upset, we're all frustrated. We all have layovers that we want to be on. We all have things that we want to do at our destinations. It's New Orleans, so all of us want to go to Bourbon Street, just like y'all want to go to Bourbon Street. So yeah, I say all that to say, be patient with us. We're human too. We have feelings. Be nice to us. And yeah, I hope you'll enjoy this story. I hope it gave you a little bit of insight on things that could happen in the air. And yeah, I'll be back with more stories next time. I hope, send me, if y'all are a flight attendant, comment down below. Send me a voice memo on Instagram. Tell me your stories, because I would love to hear them. I'd love to talk about it. If you have questions on like why certain things happen in the air, comment down below. Maybe we can talk about it. Maybe that's where the miscommunication comes in with flight attendants or airlines and passengers. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this new segment of my channel, and thank you all for watching. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.